So if your team keeps missing deadlines and tasks seem to be falling through the cracks, it's not because they're lazy and it's not because they're incompetent. It's because they're spending so much time on admin work that things are falling through the cracks. So I'm about to show you 5 Notion automations that agencies can use right now to eliminate busy work, never miss deadlines, and get back 10 plus hours per week. And the best part is you can set these automations up automatically in under an hour without using tools like Zapier or Make.com. They're all in Notion, so let's dive in. My number one automation is generating monthly tasks automatically based on time. So here's what happens to most agencies. You have monthly tasks, client check-ins, reports, invoice reviews, content audits. They all need to happen on a monthly or weekly cadence. But someone often has to remember to create that task. And when life gets busy, they get forgotten until a client asks like, hey, where's my monthly report? And that's the worst thing you want to happen in building this relationship of trust. The manual way means you're spending 15 to 20 minutes at the start of every month, remembering what we have to recreate in order to deliver for our clients the same tasks over and over again. But let me show you how you can automate that using Notion. So we're going to go into a client here that I'm just setting up. This is around the clock care. And what we're going to do is head over to the tasks section within the agency operating system. Now we're going to click on the create and view automations. And I've actually already created this for us. So I'm just going to walk you through it now. So this is a timed trigger. So what we're doing is saying, hey, every month on the 20th of the month, at 1:30 p.m. starting tomorrow, I want you to do the following. I want you to add a new task to the task tracker using this template type. What we're going to do is filter this task, and we're going to say, hey, update these properties based on this automation here. So this is specific to around the clock. Okay. So every month I want you to create a task for around the clock called around the clock report. And I'm going to do at mentioned. So at is the date triggered here. So we'll just say, hey, the around the clock report, and that's just going to trigger the date, and it's going to pull in the date of that report here. We're going to set the status to scoping. We're going to set the task type to report, and this is going to be really important later. And then we're going to add a due date. So the time triggered is the due date is the date that it was triggered plus 2 days. So this is a formula. I actually had Notion AI help me build this out for me. So it's giving my team member 2 days to get the report done. It's going to assign it to the team member, or in this case, just to me. And then it's going to connect that SOP, if we had an SOP for how to create a report in Google Analytics or Looker or something like that. In addition to that, it's going to send a notification to the person assigned. Say, hey, Jason, please create the report for around the clock. Done. And that's it. You set it once and your reoccurring tasks generate automatically every month. No more forgetting, no more scrambling, no more manually recreating the same tasks, because Notion is doing it for you. The second automation that I love within Notion is sending a review email to clients. So getting client approval on deliverables is critical to helping you move projects forward. But here's what usually happens. You finish the work, you set the task to review, and then it just sits there because you actually forget to notify the client that this is ready for review. Or you have to copy the task from Notion, go into Slack or into an email, say, hey, this is ready for you to review. Or sometimes you forget to do it altogether, or you send it 3 days later when the momentum's gone and the client's moved on to other things. Really, the best time to request client approval is immediately after the work is completed. But manually remembering to send that email for every deliverable is really unrealistic when you're juggling multiple projects. So here's how we automate it. Now let's jump in. So you can see we're in the Notion dashboard for around the clock, the same client, and I've already set this automation up. So all you do is come over here to automations. You click on this automation here, or you create a new automation. You'll give it a title. And you'll see that this is a trigger when this trigger occurs. So when all triggers occur. So this is, I'm filtering on the client contains around the clock. The status is set to review. So what this means is when something happens in the database, and I can just show you here now. So we can go here, we say new trigger, and we say any property edited, and we'll add the trigger to So we'll do a new trigger here. So it is the client, right? So we're going to do around the clock. Done. Great. And then we'll do the status here. And we're going to deselect and select review. And then we're going to create a new action. So like when the status for around the clock is set to review, we're going to create an action, and that's going to be set send the email here. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to discard this one because this one's already built out. And as you can see, I've connected my email to this. I'm sending it to my client. Hey, this is ready for your review. Hey, Renee, this task, and the task's name is ready for you to review. Please let us know if you have any feedback before we move forward. Thanks. Right? And so it's going to show my display name and the reply to, and that's it. So you set this up once, and all you're doing is moving tasks along through your pipeline of work, and Notion is handling the communication for you. So every time you complete a deliverable, your client automatically gets a review request so they can approve or provide feedback right away. No delays, no chasing, no bottlenecks. You can even set up a complex automation using formulas to send another reminder to your client. But again, that is more of an in-depth tutorial on how to set up those automatic reminders for your clients using custom formulas that you can set up within the task database. Number 3 automation that I absolutely live by is creating client portals from forms. Now, Notion introduced forms to the mix of their product line last year, and I was not an early adopter. I was still using things like Typeform, but it's been amazing moving forward. So imagine this, you just signed a new client. You're excited, but now you need to manually create their client portal. You got to set up their project views, add their contact info, configure their dashboard. This usually takes 30 to 45 minutes of setup work before you even start the actual project. So if you're onboarding multiple clients a month, that really, really adds up. Plus, there's always the risk you'll forget to include something or set up a portal inconsistently. So here's how you do it automatically from your onboarding form. Now, this is the agency operating system. We have an onboarding form built into the product for you that actually comes with this automation setup. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through what this does, and then I'm going to submit a form on my own so that you can see how this works. Basically what it is, it's whenever someone submits this on this page, we're going to add this to client portals. So it's connecting to client portals as a new template type, and it's pulling in all of this information. It's pulling in their name, their website URL, their company info, their goals, the date triggered, the address, the city, the postal code, the country, the state, the email, all of this information that I require to work with my clients. And so for me, what you can see is I ask this information. What's your email address? What's your name? What's the name of your company? Please describe what your company does. Who is your ideal buyer? Lastly, what's your website URL? Besides you, who else should we expect to work with? Please give us their title and job description. And last, we're gift givers. Mind submitting your home address so we can send you a little welcome gift. Now, I do this using an automation that we sell through make.com that you get offered to when you purchase the agency operating system. What this does is actually creates a Google Drive folder, automatically creates these Slack channels, adds them to the agency operating system client portal. And the last step is to actually send them a nice little handwritten card with a gift card to Starbucks with a cheesy, stupid joke on it. Again, what I like to do is just to create those little moments of ease and, oh yeah, I made the right decision when I chose to work with Jason or when I chose to work with this agency. Again, you're trying to combat that buyer's remorse from people. They have potentially given you and decided to give you thousands of dollars. So the moment they sign, we want to put in motion this orchestra or this dance, really proving to them that I made the right decision. Like if this is how they onboard me, I can't wait to see the kind of results they're going to get to me for the work that they're going to do. So again, this is just a little like, hey, glad you're here, little gift for you to send to your clients. So once we fill out this form, this is what happens. You can see that it's come through here. This is for Jason's Unlimited, and we're going to look into the properties here and see what's been filled out. So the URL has been updated. The start date has been updated. Their address has been updated. Their email has been updated. If I view details here, I see what their company does and their goals, which is great. So I've taken that information, automatically pulled it into here, and now the client portal is basically operational and ready to go. But as you can see, it's blank. So for my next top 5 automation, I want to teach you how to use Notion AI to automatically populate a project plan using the project contract that your client just signed. So this is one of my favorite because it eliminates one of the biggest time sinks in any agency's work. Project setup. And what's great about it is you don't have to be consistent in a sense of creating templates before you use Notion. You can just pull in your contracts and your team is ready to go with what the plan is for the project. So imagine this, you sign a contract and now you need to create the project plan, build out all the tasks, set timelines, assign team members, create milestones. That's easily a couple hours of administration work before the real work even begins. And if you're doing this manually for every project, you're spending hours per week on setup instead of delivery. Let me show you how to generate project plans automatically from your contracts. So we're here in jasonsunlimited.com. I'm going to grab a project plan from a previous contract that I've actually used Notion AI to, and I'm just going to ask it to populate this project here. Great. So please populate the same project here, but for my client. So literally all I did, as you can see it in the project plan here, is this was my prompt. My new client, Mission Accounting, is coming on to work with me in the next week. Can you build out a complete project plan with my brief in the project template, as well as create tasks linked to that project based on the contract I'm submitting to you? Please update all properties and sign all tasks for me now. All I did was attach this contract to Notion AI, and let me show you what it did for Mission Accounting. So if I go into Mission Accounting here, you can see that it's created this project, the 90-day transformation, right? And so that was the title of my contract, AI-powered client acquisition system. It's given me a project overview, the phases of the project, the qualified lead criteria, client responsibilities, and then it's actually created all of these steps and tasks that myself and my team need to deliver on to get them results. And if you look at this again, like this, it went through all of this. And the only thing that it did not do is it did not formulate this or format it like this correctly. That was the only thing. So now Notion is not, it's not just a place for you to hold information and track tasks. It's literally becoming almost a project manager for you and is able to communicate with your team and expedite the speed at which you can take projects to market for clients. So honestly, I know that this isn't really an automation per se, but this is one of my favorite new features that Notion has rolled out using Notion AI. So now every contract automatically becomes a complete, ready to go project plan. Your team can start working immediately instead of waiting around for you to finish the setup. And your clients are going to love the speed at which you move as compared to any other agency they've worked with. The last automation that I cannot live without has to be auto-categorize work. So this is the last one, and this solves a problem that quietly drains hours every single week. So finding and organizing completed work. So say your designer finishes a logo. Where does it go? Your writer completes a blog post. Which folder? Your strategist delivers a report. Who's responsible for filing it? So without a system, these files kind of end up everywhere. Email attachments, Slack messages, maybe a Dropbox folder, maybe a Drive folder. They're in random places that not only you don't remember, but your team doesn't remember, and more importantly, your clients don't remember. So when a client asks for something you've delivered 3 months ago, you don't have to spend 15 minutes hunting for it. It's all there and categorized automatically. So here's how to automatically categorize and organize everything. So if we go into the client portal, and we'll go into Mission Accounting here, we can see that we've created all these types of tasks, and Notion has done a pretty great job at updating the properties based on what it is. So this is a research document. This is onboarding, reporting, content, reporting, review, right? And so on the left here, you'll notice within every agency operating system, we have this quick link section that you can update for yourself. And for me, I do a lot of SEO, so I generate a lot of reports and I want to be able to reference those reports as I'm working with a client. We've updated the task type and tagged it with review. And what this database here is doing, because it's just a view of the database filtered on the client and the task type. So it's going to automatically pull all of the reports. If these are, design reviews, if these are decks to be reviewed, or if these are image assets that you've created or blog posts that you've created, you can set these folders up to automatically categorize the work so that not only you, but your team and your clients can find them as you're moving forward. Really easy to set up, already done for you in the agency operating system. So from now on, every completed task automatically gets categorized, filled, and organized. Your team never has to think about where to put things, clients never have to ask twice for deliverables, and you never have to spend time hunting for files again. So if you want to see all of these automations work in your business, you can check out the agency operating system. It's a full Notion template with every automation pre-configured and ready to duplicate into your workspace. And if you found this video valuable, could you do me a favor and hit subscribe? I share agency systems and Notion hacks like this every week to help you work smarter, not harder. So drop a comment and tell me which automations are you setting up first, and I'll reply with tips for your specific situation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.